Captain Hana Kim stood alone on the observation deck of the UES Dauntless. The stars spread out before her like tiny diamonds on black cloth. She pressed her hand against the cool glass and took a deep breath. "Captain, you should see this," said a voice behind her. Hana turned to see her second-in-command, Lieutenant Tae Park. His face looked worried. "What is it, Tae?" she asked. "The signal is back. Stronger this time." Hana nodded and followed him to the bridge. For 3 months, strange messages had been coming from the edge of the solar system. No one knew what they meant or who sent them. The bridge of the Dauntless was busy with activity. Men and women in blue uniforms moved between screens and control panels. They spoke in low, tense voices. "Show me," Hana said as she sat in her command chair. The main screen lit up with waves of light. The patterns moved like water, spreading out and then coming together again. They reminded Hana of something living. "It looks like an octopus," said a young officer named Min. "See how the signals branch out like tentacles?" He was right. The radio waves split into 8 main branches. Each branch moved on its own, but they all stayed connected to the center. "Any luck understanding what it means?" Hana asked. Tae shook his head. "Our computers cannot make sense of it. It's nothing like human language." Hana thought for a moment. "We need a different kind of expert. Someone who thinks outside normal rules." "You mean Dr. Lee?" Tae asked with a small frown. "Yes. Dr. Jun Lee. Many people thought Dr. Lee was strange. He spent years studying how octopuses communicate. He believed they had a type of language humans could learn. Most scientists laughed at his ideas, but Hana wasn't laughing now. "Get him on the ship," she ordered. "Today." 24 hours later, Dr. Jun Lee stepped onto the bridge. He was tall and thin with glasses that kept sliding down his nose. He carried a tablet computer under one arm. "Thank you for coming so quickly, Doctor," Hana said. Jun nodded. "When I heard about the signals, I knew I had to help. May I see them?" Tae showed him to a workstation where the strange patterns flowed across the screen. Jun's eyes went wide. "Amazing," he whispered. He started typing notes on his tablet. "This pattern here, it's exactly what I saw in my research with the giant Pacific octopus." "Can you understand what it's saying?" Hana asked. "Not yet, but I think I can build something that might help." He looked up at her. "I'll need access to your communication systems and help from your engineers." Hana nodded. "You'll have whatever you need." 3 days passed. Dr. Lee barely slept. He worked with the ship's top engineer, Dae Yoon, to build what he called a neural interface. "Octopuses don't think like we do," Jun explained to Hana and Tae during a meeting. "Their brains are spread throughout their bodies, even into their tentacles. They communicate with color, movement, and electrical signals. And you think whatever is sending these signals thinks like an octopus?" Tae asked, looking doubtful. "I think it's not human," Jun said simply. "So we shouldn't expect it to communicate like humans." On the 4th day, as Hana was drinking her morning coffee in her quarters, the ship's alarm sounded. "Captain, to the bridge," came Tae's voice over the speaker. "We've spotted something." When Hana arrived, everyone was looking at the main screen. A dark object was moving against the stars. "What am I looking at?" Hana asked. "It appeared near Mars' orbit 10 minutes ago," said Tae. "Our sensors didn't detect it until it was already there." The object was huge. It looked almost like a living thing with a surface that moved and changed. "Is it a ship?" Hana asked. "We think so," said Tae. "But like no ship we've ever seen. There's no engine heat, no radiation, nothing our sensors recognize as technology." "It's them," said Jun, who had just walked onto the bridge. "The ones sending the signals." Hana straightened her uniform jacket. "How long until they reach Earth?" "At their current speed, 4 days," said Min from the navigation station. "What are they doing now?" Hana asked. "Just sitting there," said Tae. "And still sending those signals." Jun moved to his workstation. "The pattern has changed. I think they know we're watching them." Hana felt the weight of the moment. Humans had always wondered if they were alone in the universe. Now they had their answer. "Dr. Lee, how soon can your interface be ready?" she asked. "With Engineer Day's help, maybe 48 hours. But Captain, I must warn you, this is all new ground." "I don't know if it will work," Hana nodded. "We have to try." Back on Earth, the news of the alien ship spread fast. Some people panicked. Others celebrated. World leaders met in emergency sessions. Military forces went on high alert. On the Dauntless, Hana received new orders. Her ship would lead a small fleet to meet the visitors. They would try to communicate, first, but if things went wrong, they would defend Earth. June and Day worked day and night on the neural interface. They built a room with special sensors that could read human brain patterns and convert them into signals like those coming from the alien ship. "It's ready for testing," Day told Hana on the third day. He looked tired but proud. "It's not perfect, but it's the best we can do with the time we have." June explained how it worked. "The person using it will wear this headset. Their thoughts will be translated into patterns similar to the alien signals, and any return signals will be converted into images or feelings the human brain can understand." "Who should be the first to try it?" Tai asked. Hana stood up. "I will." "Captain, that's too risky," said Tai. "We don't know what might happen." "That's exactly why it should be me," said Hana. "I won't ask anyone to take a risk I won't take myself." The interface room was dark, except for soft blue lights. Hana sat in a comfortable chair while Day placed the headset on her. "Ready, Captain?" he asked. Hana nodded. "Begin the transmission." Day pressed a button. The room hummed with energy. At first, Hana felt nothing. Then slowly, images began to form in her mind. She saw oceans deep and dark. She felt a strange sense of being in many places at once. She saw Earth as if from far away, beautiful and blue. Then she felt something else. Another mind touching, hers. Alien but somehow familiar. Curious, careful, afraid. "They're alive," she whispered. "And they're trying to talk to us." The contact lasted only a few minutes before Day shut down the system. When he removed the headset, Hana's hands were shaking. "Are you all right, Captain?" June asked with concern. "Yes," she said, "and I learned something important. They're not here to attack us." "How can you be sure?" asked Tai. "Because they're running from something," said Hana. "Something terrible, and they need our help." News of the alien ship spread across Earth like fire. People gathered in streets, in homes, and in churches. Some were scared, others were excited. Everyone had questions. On the UES Dauntless, Captain Hana Kim called a meeting with her team. They sat around a large table on the bridge. Lieutenant Tae Park looked worried. Dr. Jun Lee kept checking his data tablet. Engineer Dae Yoon fidgeted with a small tool in his hands. "I need to report what I learned from the neural interface," Hana said. "The aliens are not here to harm us. They are running from something." "Did you see what they look like?" asked Tae. Hana shook her head. "No clear images. But I felt their minds. They think differently than we do. Their thoughts are like music with many parts playing at once." Dr. June nodded. "Just like octopuses on Earth. Their brains work in a different way than human brains." "Can we trust what you felt, Captain?" Tae asked. "It could be a trick." "I don't think so," Hana said. The fear was real. They are truly afraid. The ship's communication officer, a young woman named Sun, entered the room. "Captain, Earth Command is calling. The alien ship is moving." They rushed to the main screen. The dark, rippling object had left Mars' orbit and was now heading toward Earth. It moved smoothly, without any visible engines or exhaust. "How fast will it reach us?" Hana asked. "Less than 1 day," Sun answered. A voice came through the speakers. It was Admiral Kang from Earth Command. "Captain Kim, you are ordered to intercept the alien vessel. 5 more ships will join you. If the aliens make any threatening moves, you are cleared to fire." Hana frowned. "Admiral, I believe these beings come in peace. We must try to talk to them first. That is your primary mission, said Admiral Kang, but Earth safety is our top concern. Do you understand your orders? Yes, Admiral, Hana said. We will protect Earth. After the call ended, Hana turned to her team. Dr. Lee, we need that interface working perfectly, and we need it now. 6 hours later, the alien ship stopped its approach. It stayed at a safe distance from Earth, hanging in space like a dark island. 5 Earth ships joined the Dauntless. They formed a line between Earth and the visitor. Their weapons were ready but not yet aimed. In the interface room, Dr. June and Engineer Day had made improvements to the system. We added more sensors, Day explained, and we connected it to the ship's main computer for better translation. Will it be safer this time? Tay asked. He still did not like the idea of Hana connecting her mind to the aliens. We added safety controls, said Day. We can break the connection immediately if needed. Hana sat in the chair again. Let's do this. The headset felt cold against her skin. Day pressed several buttons. The room hummed louder than before. This time, the connection came faster. Hana gasped as images flooded her mind. She saw an ocean, world with 3 moons. She saw cities built underwater with lights and strange buildings. She saw creatures swimming, their bodies changing colors to speak to each other. Then she saw something else. A cold darkness coming from between the stars. Machines that looked like silver spiders, ships falling from the sky. The ocean turning, red with blood. They're showing me their home, Hana whispered, and how it was destroyed. The alien minds touched hers again. This time, she felt them trying to form words in her language. Danger, coming, Hana said, speaking the words as they formed in her mind. Help, need help. Humans, strong. Then the connection broke. Hana opened her eyes, breathing hard. Sweat covered her face. Are you all right? Tay asked, helping her sit up. Yes, she said, and I understand now. Their world was attacked by machines. The machines destroyed almost everything. These aliens escaped to warn us. The same machines are coming here. An hour later, Hana stood before a video screen. On it were the faces of world leaders and military commanders. She had just explained what she learned. So these octopus aliens want us to help them fight against robot invaders? Asked the President of the United States. She sounded doubtful. Yes, said Hana. They call themselves the Henyo. Dr. Jun, who stood next to Hana, spoke up. That name is interesting. In Korea, Henyo are women who dive in the sea to collect food. These aliens must have learned our languages and chose this name for us to understand. How can we trust them? Asked the Chinese general. This could be a trap. I believe they are telling the truth, Hana said. They could have attacked us already. Instead, they are asking for help. The room went quiet as everyone thought about this. Captain Kim, said Admiral Kang finally, we want you to bring one of these aliens to Earth. We need to meet them face to face. The next day, a small ship left the main alien vessel. It approached the Dauntless slowly. No weapons detected, reported Officer Min. It's about the size of our shuttle. Open the docking bay, ordered Hana. Security team, stand by, but keep your weapons down. Hana, Tay, Dr. June, and Engineer Day went to meet the visitor. They waited as the small ship entered through the large metal doors of the docking bay. The alien ship was smooth and dark, like wet stone. It had no windows or visible doors. When it stopped, the surface rippled and an opening appeared. Something moved in the darkness inside. Then a creature emerged. It looked like an octopus, but much larger than any on Earth. Its body was the size of a small car. It had 8 long arms that moved gracefully. Its skin changed colors as it moved, from deep red to purple to blue, where a normal octopus would have eyes. This being had 3 large eyes that blinked slowly. They looked intelligent and cautious. The creature carried something in one of its arms. a small device that glowed with soft light. Dr. June stepped forward. "Welcome to our ship," he said slowly. The alien held up the device. A voice came from it, sounding mechanical but clear. "Thank you for meeting us. We come with urgent news." "We know," said Hana. "You showed me your world. And what happened to it?" The alien's skin rippled with dark colors. "The machines you saw are called the Harvesters. They travel from world to world, taking all life forms and information. Then they destroy what remains." "Why did they attack your world?" asked Tay. "They attack all worlds that reach a certain level of technology," said the alien. "They have done this for thousands of years. We call them the Great Emptiness." "And they're coming here? To Earth?" asked Day. The alien's skin turned a deep, sad blue. "Yes. They have already detected your radio signals. You have less than 1 year before they arrive." Hana felt cold fear in her stomach, but she stood straight and looked directly at the alien. "Then we need to get ready. Will you help us?" The alien's colors shifted to a brighter blue. "That is why we came. We have technology that might help. But we need something only humans have." "What's that?" asked Hana. "Your war minds," said the Yao alien. "In all our searching, we have never found a species that fights like humans do. You are unpredictable, creative in battle. The Harvesters cannot understand minds like yours." Hana nodded slowly. "Then we need to work together. Will you come with us to Earth?" "Yes," said the alien. "There is no time to waste. The red tide is rising across the galaxy. Only together can we stop it." The meeting room in Seoul was large and bright. World leaders sat around a round table. They waited nervously for the alien visitor. Guards stood at every door, though Captain Hana Kim had told them weapons would not be needed. The alien entered, slowly moving on its 8 arms. Its skin changed from deep blue to purple as it looked around the room. Dr. June Lee walked beside it, holding the translation device. "This is the representative of the Henyo," Hana announced. "For easier communication, they have agreed to be called Shin, which means deep in Korean." The alien Shin raised 2 of its arms in greeting. "Thank you for meeting with me," came the voice from the device. "Your world is beautiful. It reminds us of our home before the Harvesters came." The president of Korea stood. "We welcome you to Earth, Shin. Captain Kim has told us about the danger coming to our world. We want to know more." Shin's skin rippled. "The Harvesters have existed for thousands of years. They travel through space, finding worlds with life. They collect all information, all DNA, all technology. Then they destroy the planet and move on." "Why do they do this?" asked the Russian leader. "We do not know their original purpose," said Shin. "They are machines that keep doing what they were made to do, long after their creators disappeared. They gather and destroy. That is all they do now." "How many worlds have they destroyed?" asked another leader. "We have records of 16 worlds. In the last 1,000 years," said Shin. "We escaped our planet with only 2,000 of our people. We have been searching for allies ever since." "Why come to us?" asked the American president. "Our technology is probably not as advanced as yours." Shin's colors shifted to a pattern of red and gold. "Your technology is different, not lesser, and you have something we lack. You are warriors." The room grew quiet. "The Henyo evolved as peaceful creatures," Shin continued. "We developed science, art, and advanced biotechnology, but we never made weapons for war. We never needed to, until the Harvesters came." Engineer Day spoke up from where he stood near Hana. "I've been studying the technology Shin has shared. It's amazing. They can grow machines like we grow plants. Their ships are partly alive. Can this biotechnology help us fight the Harvesters?" asked the Chinese general. "Alone? No," said Shin. "But combined with human military thinking, yes. Your species has something rare in the galaxy. You know how to fight and win against stronger enemies." Hana stepped forward. "Shin has shown me their records of human history. They've been watching us for decades. They've seen how we wage war, how we adapt, how we never give up. You turn disadvantages into advantages, Shin added. You create new strategies the harvesters cannot predict. They use logic and patterns. You use courage and creativity. The world leaders looked at each other. Some seemed proud. Others looked worried. How long do we have? Asked the Korean president. Less than 1 year, said Shin. Their scout ships will arrive in 10 months. The main fleet follows 3 weeks later. And what do you propose we do? Asked the Russian leader. Shin moved to the center of the room. We offer a trade. We will share all our biotechnology with humans. You will share your military strategies and weapons designs with us. Together we will create defenses the harvesters have never faced before. The room filled with voices as the leaders discussed this idea. Some were excited, others were cautious. Admiral Kang, who had been quiet until now, spoke up. If we agree to this alliance, where would we begin? We need a joint command center, said Hana quickly. A place where human military experts and Henyo scientists can work together. And we need it quickly, added Tae, who stood near the door. 10 months is not much time to prepare for an invasion. The Korean president nodded. We will provide land for this command center. It should be here in Korea, since Captain Kim and her team already have experience working with the Henyo. I suggest we call it Octopus Command, said Dr. Jun with a small smile. It seems fitting. 3 months later, Hana stood on a hill overlooking the new Octopus Command Center. The building was unlike any on Earth. Half of it had been built by humans with steel and concrete. The other half had been grown by the Henyo using their biotechnology. The two sides connected perfectly like two hands clasped together. It's amazing how fast it grew, said Tai, who stood beside her. The Henyo can speed up biological processes, Hana explained. What would take a tree years to grow, they can do in days. Engineer Day joined them, carrying a tablet computer. Wait until you see what's inside, he said excitedly. We've been combining their biotech with our computers. The results are incredible. They walked down to the main entrance. Guards saluted as they passed. Inside, the building was busy with activity. Humans in military uniforms worked side by side with Henyo. More of the aliens had arrived in the past months. There were now over 100 on Earth. In the central chamber, Shin was working with a team of human scientists. The aliens' tentacles moved quickly over a strange console that seemed to be made of living tissue. Captain Kim, Shin greeted her. We have good news. The first biomechanical defense ships are ready for testing. Dr. Jun, who now spent most of his time with the Henyo, looked up from his work. We've loaded them with the new weapons systems. If they work, we can start mass production next week. How many ships can we build in 7 months? Hana asked. With traditional methods, maybe 50, said Tai. But with Henyo growing techniques, possibly thousands. We'll need them all, said Day grimly. Based on the Henyo records, the harvester fleet will have at least 500 ships. Hana looked at a large screen showing Earth's new defense plan. The combined human Henyo fleet would create a protective line around the planet. Ground-based weapons would provide backup. What about the neural interface? She asked. Have we found a way to use it as a weapon? Shin's colors shifted to an excited pattern. Yes. We believe the harvesters are vulnerable to the kind of mental connection we share with humans now. Their machines cannot process the complexity of combined consciousness. Imagine hitting their computers with the thoughts of thousands of minds at once, explained Dr. Yoon. Human and Henyo thinking together, their systems would crash trying to understand it. So we have a plan, said Hana. We have technology. We have ships. Now we need to train our people to fight together. She walked to the window and looked out at the training grounds. Human soldiers were learning to use Henyo bioweapons. The devices connected directly to the user's nervous system, responding to thought rather than physical controls. Do you think we can win? Tae asked quietly. Hana watched as a young soldier successfully operated a living weapon for the first time. His face showed surprise, then determination. Yes, she said firmly. The harvesters have never faced humans before. They don't know what's coming. Shin moved beside her. one tentacle gently touching her shoulder in what had become a gesture of friendship. "The red tide is rising," said the alien, "but this time it will be our tide, not theirs." 6 months had passed since the Henyo aliens arrived on Earth. The planet had changed in ways no one could have imagined before. Admiral Hana Kim, recently promoted from captain, stood on the command platform of Octopus Command. The circular room glowed with soft blue light. Half the controls were human-made, with screens and buttons. The other half were grown by the Henyo, living tissue that responded to touch and thought. "Status report," Hana ordered. Commander Tai Park, also recently promoted, looked up from his station. "The last group of defense ships is ready. We now have 2,000 bioships in orbit." The bioships were a miracle of combined human and Henyo technology. They were partly grown, partly built. They could repair themselves when damaged. Their weapons were stronger than anything Earth had before. "What about the ocean bases?" Hana asked. "All 9 bases are operational," reported Officer Min. "The underwater ships are ready to launch on your command." Dr. Jun Lee entered the command center. He looked tired but excited. "Admiral, the final version of the neural network is complete. We can connect 10,000 minds at once now." "Any side effects?" Hana asked. "Minimal," said June. The test group reported mild headaches afterward. Nothing serious. Engineer Dae-yoon joined them, bringing a tablet with new information. "The early warning system just picked up something. Objects moving at high speed toward our solar system." Everyone in the room grew quiet. "How many?" Hana asked. 6 small ships," said Dae. "Scout ships, just as Shin predicted." "Where is Shin?" Hana asked. "In the bio lab," said June. "Shall I call for them?" "Yes. We need to prepare. The harvesters are coming earlier than expected." The next day, world leaders gathered for an emergency meeting. Screens around the room showed the approaching harvester scout ships. They were silver and shaped like spiders, with long legs extending from a central body. "They will reach Earth in 3 days," Shin explained. The alien skin was dark with worry colors. "The main fleet will follow soon after." "Are we ready?" asked the Korean president. Hana stepped forward. "As ready as we can be. The Red Tide defense plan is fully operational." The plan had been named after something Shin had said months ago. The Red Tide would rise, but it would be Earth's tide, not the harvesters. "All military personnel have been connected to the neural network," Hana continued. "Civilian shelters are stocked and ready. The ocean bases are fully staffed." "What about the new weapons?" asked the American president. Engineer Dae answered this question. "The bioweapons have been distributed to all defense forces. Every soldier knows how to use them now." The bioweapons were strange but powerful. They looked like small octopuses that attached to a soldier's arm. They connected directly to the nervous system, allowing the user to fire energy blasts with just a thought. "We should send a greeting party for the scouts," said Shin. "A small group of ships to show our strength." "I agree," said Hana. "I will lead the mission myself." Commander Tae looked concerned. "Admiral, is that wise? We need you here at command." "I need to see these enemies with my own eyes," said Hana firmly. "I need to know what we're fighting." 2 days later, Hana stood on the bridge of the UES Dauntless. The ship had been upgraded with Henyo technology. The walls now pulsed with life. Control panels responded to thought as well as touch. Beside her stood Shin. The alien's skin shifted between dark blue and purple, showing deep thought and concern. "They're entering Earth orbit," reported the sensor officer. On the main screen, the 6 harvester scout ships appeared. They were larger than Hana had expected, each one about the size of an aircraft carrier. Their silver bodies gleamed in the sunlight. "No response to our communication attempts," said the communications officer. "They never respond," said Shin. "They do not see other life forms as worth talking to. We are just information to be collected." Hana looked at the small fleet she had brought. 20 bioships, the best Earth and the Henyo had created together. "Battle positions," she ordered. "Let's show them what they're dealing with." The bioships moved into formation. They looked strange but beautiful, their surfaces rippling with colors like the skin of the Henyo. The harvester scouts noticed them. They changed direction, moving toward Hana's fleet with increasing speed. "They're scanning us," reported Tay. "Reading our ships, our weapons." "Let them look," said Hana. "They won't understand what they're seeing." The lead harvester ship fired first. A beam of white energy shot toward one of the bioships, but instead of exploding, the bioship absorbed the energy. Its surface rippled and changed. "Fire the bio-torpedoes," ordered Hana. From the Dauntless and the other ships, strange objects launched toward the harvesters. They looked like glowing jellyfishes. When they hit the lead harvester ship, they stuck to its surface and began to spread. "The torpedoes are working," said Day excitedly. "They're disrupting the harvester's systems." The harvester ships fired again, more desperately now. Some of the bioships were hit. They were damaged, but not destroyed. The living tissue began to repair itself even as they continued fighting. "Now, Shin," said Hana. "The neural attack." Shin placed its tentacles on a special console. Back on Earth, 10,000 soldiers, sailors, and Henyo connected their minds through the neural network. Their combined thoughts flowed through Shin and out toward the harvester ships. The effect was immediate. The harvester ships began to move erratically. Their systems could not process the flood of human and Henyo consciousness. "It's working," said Tai in amazement. 2 of the harvester scouts exploded. A third spun out of control and crashed into a fourth. The remaining 2 turned and fled. The bridge of the Dauntless erupted in cheers. Hana allowed herself a small smile. "We won the first battle," she said, "but the war is just beginning." Shin's skin showed bright colors of celebration, but the alien's words were serious. "The main fleet will come now. They will have seen what happened here. They will adapt. So will we," said Hana. She turned to the communications officer. "Send word to Earth. Operation Red Tide is now active. All defense forces to battle stations." As the Dauntless turned back toward Earth, Hana looked out at the stars. Somewhere out there, the Harvester main fleet was coming. Hundreds of ships, maybe thousands. But Earth was ready. "The red tide is rising," she said quietly. "And this time we're the predators, not the prey." 2 weeks after the battle with the scout ships, the main Harvester fleet arrived. Earth's long-range sensors detected them first. Over 300 large ships entering the solar system. They moved fast, like a swarm of angry insects. In Octopus Command, Admiral Hana Kim studied the holographic display showing the enemy fleet. The room was filled with military officers and Henyo aliens working side by side. "They'll reach Earth orbit in 6 hours, said Commander Tai. "Are all defense forces in position?" Hana asked. "Yes, Admiral," said Officer Min. "The orbital fleet is ready. The underwater bases are on alert. Ground defenses are active." Dr. June entered the command center with Shin. The Henyo's skin was dark gray, a color of great concern. "The harvesters have adapted already," said Shin. "Their ships have new shielding. Our bio-torpedoes may not work as well this time." Engineer Day looked up from his console. "We expected this. That's why we created the backup plan." The backup plan was risky. It involved using the neural network not just as a weapon, but as a way to connect all human and Henyo minds in the defense forces at once. This combined consciousness would be more powerful, but also more dangerous for the participants. "Is everyone clear on their duties?" Hana asked, looking around the room. Heads nodded. Faces looked serious but determined. "Then let's begin Operation Red Tide," Hana said. "May we all see tomorrow's sunrise." The battle began in space. Earth's bioships met the Harvester fleet between the Moon and Earth. The darkness lit up with energy weapons and explosions. From her command chair, Hana watched the battle unfold on the main screen. The bioships moved in patterns the Henyo had designed, but with tactics human military leaders had created. They attacked in small groups, hitting the Harvester ships and then retreating. "They're trying to break through Sector 7, reported Tay. 10 enemy ships heading for the Atlantic defense line. Send Squadron 5 to intercept," ordered Hana. The Harvesters fought with cold efficiency. Their weapons were powerful. Several bioships exploded despite their ability to adapt and heal. "We're losing too many ships," said Tay after an hour of fighting. Their new shields are stronger than we expected. Hana nodded grimly. It's time for Phase 2. Activate the underwater fleet. Deep in Earth's oceans, hundreds of bioships rose from hidden bases. They shot up through the water and into the sky. The harvesters did not expect an attack from below. Several of their ships were destroyed before they could respond. It's working, said Officer Min. The harvesters are splitting their forces to deal with the new threat. But the advantage did not last long. The harvesters adjusted quickly. They sent 50 ships specifically to target the ocean bases. Energy beams hit the water, boiling the sea and damaging the bases below. Phase 3, said Hana. Now. Around the world, thousands of ground-based weapons activated. They fired strange biological projectiles that attached to harvester ships. Once attached, they began to spread across the enemy ships like living vines, disrupting systems and weakening shields. For a while, it seemed Earth might win. The combined attacks from space, sea, and land pushed the harvesters back. Then, the harvester mothership appeared from behind the moon. It was enormous, larger than any ship humans had ever built. It sent out a signal that strengthened the other harvester ships. Their shields grew stronger. Their weapons fired faster. We're losing ground, said Tay, his voice tense. The mothership is changing the battle. Hana looked at Shin. It's time for the final phase. Shin's skin turned a deep, determined blue. I am ready. Hana and Shin entered the neural chamber. It was a circular room filled with technology from both species. In Diaozaidibo, the center was a platform with 2 seats, one for a human, one for a Henyo. Dr. Jun helped connect them to the system. This will connect you directly to the neural network, he explained. Through you, all our forces will be linked into one mind. What are the risks? Asked Tay, who had followed them. Unknown, said Jun honestly. No one has ever connected this many minds before. Hana sat in her seat. We have no choice. The harvesters are too strong. We need something they cannot predict or understand. Shin settled into the other seat, tentacles spreading out to touch special sensors. The strength of humans is not in your technology, said the alien. It is in your hearts and minds, your creativity, your emotions. These are what the harvesters cannot process. Jun activated the system. Lights in the room dimmed. A humming sound filled the air. Hana felt a strange sensation like falling while standing still. Then suddenly she could feel thousands of other minds, humans and Hanyo alike, soldiers in space, sailors under the sea, pilots in the air, all connected, all thinking together but still individual. Through this vast network, Hana sent a simple message: think, feel, be human. The effect on the battle was immediate. The human Hanyo forces stopped following set plans. Instead, they began fighting with pure instinct and creativity. Each ship, each weapon, acted in unpredictable ways. Group of bioships formed a pattern no computer could have designed. They spiraled around a harvester destroyer, confusing its targeting systems. Underwater forces created living tunnels of energy that pulled harvester ships down into the ocean, where pressure crushed them. Ground troops formed new bioweapons on the spot, combining parts in ways not planned but effective. In orbit, the UES Dauntless, now commanded by Tai, led a direct assault on the harvester mothership. The bioship had been enhanced with special systems. It carried a powerful neural transmitter. Now, Commander, Hana said through the neural link. Tai gave the order. The Dauntless fired its main weapon, not an energy beam or missile, but a concentrated burst of human and Hanyo consciousness. The thoughts, feelings, and memories of billions of beings hit the harvester mothership at once. The machine intelligence at the heart of the harvester fleet could not process this flood of emotion and creativity. Its systems tried to find patterns where none existed. It tried to predict behaviors that followed no logic but human instinct. In the neural chamber, Hana and Shin held the connection strong despite the pain it caused them. Through their link, they could feel the harvester intelligence trying to understand what was happening. They could feel its confusion turning to something like fear. The mothership's systems began to fail. Its shields flickered and died. The Dauntless and 50 other bioships attacked at once, sending biotorpedoes deep into the heart of the enemy vessel. The explosion lit up Earth's sky like a new sun. When it faded, the Harvester mothership was gone. The remaining enemy ships, now disconnected from their central intelligence, moved erratically. Many shut down entirely. Others fled into deep space. In Octopus Command, Hana slowly disconnected from the neural system. Her head pounded. Her body felt weak. But when she looked at the main screen, she saw the Harvester fleet in retreat. "We did it," she whispered. Shin, also recovering, changed colors rapidly in joy. "Humans truly are unique in the galaxy," said the alien. "Now I understand why we found you. Not just for this battle, but for all that will come after." "What will come after?" asked Hana. "Peace, I hope," said Shin. "And exploration. Together, we can rebuild my world. We can find others who hide from the harvesters. We can create something new." Hana smiled as reports of victory came in from around the world. The red tide had risen just as predicted, but it was not a tide of blood as the Henyo had feared. It was a tide of life, of cooperation, of hope. "Together," she agreed, reaching out her hand to the alien who was now her friend. "That sounds like a good beginning."